Hello, once again. This is Tony. Um, Today I'll be off video. I was walking my dog and I tripped and fell and I scratched my face pretty badly. So I don't think you guys want to see that. But we were talking about mass shooting, and today's session was to go over school mass shooting. But a couple days ago, there was an article about the U.S. debt. So I figure this is an important news, and we'll pivot a little bit and talk about school mass shooting next week. But I wanted to bring this to your attention. Um, so while the media was busy chasing the latest headlines last week, the U.S. Treasury quietly dropped a bombshell. They released the 2025 financial report, and the numbers are, well, they're catastrophic. If the US government were a private company, it wouldn't just be in debt, it would be declared legally insolvent. And I will share the article on the under the description. Please read it when you get a chance. Um, but we're talking about 6 trillion in assets against nearly 48 trillion in liabilities. That is a 8-to-1 ratio of what we owe versus what we own, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Um, Most people focus on the national debt. Um, you see the news that 30 trillion is the figure, but the Treasury hides a much bigger number of the balance sheet. These are the unfunded obligations for Social Security and Medicare. Um, in just 1 year, these obligations jumped by over $10 trillion. If you add those promises to the official debt, the total federal obligation hits 136 trillion. To put that in perspective, that is 5 times the size of the entire US economy. And for the 29th year in a row, the GAO, their government's own watchdog, said they couldn't even verify if these numbers are accurate because the Department of Defense accounting is still a mess. In comparison to the household comparison, let me just give you some perspective here. Trillions are hard to wrap our heads around. So let's scale it down to a household budget. Imagine a family with this exact proportions, right? Where your income, they earn 52,000 a year, and the spending, it's 73,000 a year. The debt between their credit cards and future promises, they are 1.3 million in the hole. The assets, they only have 60,000 in the bank. In the real world, that family loses their home, right? In Washington, it's just another Tuesday. There are solutions that are being discussed, and more importantly, is there a way out? According to economist Steve Hanke, maybe I'm not pronouncing his last name correctly, there are 2 lifelines currently sitting in Congress. First, the Fiscal Commission Act, which would force a bipartisan public reckoning of these numbers. Second, a fiscal responsibility amendment. This is modeled after Switzerland's debt break. It would literally make it unconstitutional for federal spending to grow faster than the economy. It's a balanced budget requirement with actual teeth. The Treasury has effectively declared insolvency, even if the media didn't report it. The question is, will Congress act before the iceberg hits, or are we just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic? What do you think? It's a physical commission enough to fix this? Let me know what you guys think. Please DM me. As I said, I need the subject matter experts on this to weigh in. And more importantly, share with the public, as it appears that the media, or we're not getting enough coverage on the media. Please let me know, and love to hear from you. Thank you.